Are you ready?
I certainly hope so, because you know I am. I am Don Mystic, and I'm
awesome!
And I am here with Don Damage.
Don Damage.
And he doesn't get one because he's not cool enough.
No, I'm just damaging to our reputation.
Oh, man.
You serious?
Anyways, today we're going to be talking about Jeff Jarrett and some stupidity he's going through. Andrade El Idolo's possible return, when that might be. Cody Rhodes, and if he might have been denied a certain type of match for his Brock Lesnar run. We're going to be talking about the Money in the Bank qualifiers, both the ones that have already we already know, and the ones that are going to be coming up on next week's SmackDown. And we're also going to talk a little bit about the Bloodline, because let's face it, it's what everyone's talking about.
Yeah.
But so let's start out with Jeff Jarrett's trademark for heat.
Yes. Now, can you even trademark the word heat by itself?
I doubt it. This screen. Remember when who was it? Donald Trump tried to trademark "you're fired."
Yeah, exactly. That's a common phrase. It's like not even...
what am I now? It does say that he's trying to trademark it. Basically, it says, in the nature of wrestling contests, wrestling exhibits, performances by wrestlers, live and personal appearances, television appearances, pro wrestling news, and providing online interviews featuring wrestlers. So basically, he's doing it in terms of wrestling only.
Right.
But even then, WWE had a show called Heat long before. Now it's not there anymore, but
Sunday Night Heat.
Yeah, Sunday Night Heat, and they had it long. They were using Heat long before him in terms of wrestling. So I mean, you sit there and say that they have, if they decide they want to try to trademark it, they have more of a. They got there first. They have more of a
Yeah, but they might already have a trademark, and it might be Sunday Night Heat, might include the title Sunday Night. I know those things all factor in, but look, I get Jeff Jarrett because he's an entrepreneur. He's an entrepreneur, and it all happens to be wrestling, or a majority of it is in wrestling. And he and his dad have been in wrestling their entire lives, and I know his dad's passed now, but Jeff Jarrett's a lifelonger. I get it, and I know he's working in AEW. I get it, but if he's trying to trademark Heat with an attempt to use it on AEW television, or in some way, spin it off onto AEW, I wouldn't. And the only reason I wouldn't is because, though I think Dom Mystic would agree, nostalgia is cool for those of us that were alive way back when. But at the same time, it's hella biting something. And look, if I love ECW. ECW is just like the best to me. I love ECW. But if you reboot ECW with anything other than what it was, it's gonna annoy me. Like when WWE rebooted it and it was on Sci-Fi and it was bootsy as hell. That shit pissed me off. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like we're creative people. All of us are, in terms of us and then people in the industry. So you don't need heat. You don't need to live off a Sunday night pay-per-view lead-in show. You know what I mean? That ran for 1 hour, where not the best wrestlers, but not the best storylines made heat. Let's be honest. So why are we rebooting this? For what?
Is he rebooting it, or
why are you trademarking it then? To not use it, or just to prevent?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't watch enough of Jeff Jarrett to know. Maybe it's a like catchphrase for him or something like that. But like,
Heat, or because the word heat is synonymous with, getting heat, brother. That's in wrestle talk. He's got a lot of heat. He's a heel.
I don't know, it's something like that. I'm gonna be absolutely honest. I don't know why he's doing it, but I do think he should let it go because it's not gonna work out in his favor. You can't just trademark random words, no matter how like. I mean, yeah, The Rock could probably trademark if you smell what The Rock is cooking, his freaking name's in it, but you can't trademark if and you.
Yeah, right. You can't trademark the word if, right? Like
what we're trying to say, Jeff, is you should just let it go because
That was what was best for business.
Was there a goddamn cartoon after that?
Yes, there was cartoon running. Sorry, guys, my soundboard just goes into the next one, and
that's because
my old 40-year ass is not fast enough.
Well, here's what's going to happen. I promise you. As soon as we get a few more followers, clickers, subscribers, all that good jazz, we are going to get an
actual soundboard instead of this thing that.
Well, no, we'll get a producer who can run the soundboard, and if they fuck up, we have someone to put through a table.
Sabu through a coffee table.
Hey, but I still support unions. But every once in a while, going through a table, we all need it.
Like every once in a while, there's one of those one of those employees that shouldn't have a union because they're so stupid that it's just propping them up. And stop looking at me like I'm the guy. All right? I see how you're looking. And we both know that.
No, but I support organization and I support union, so I won't say none of it.
We know if there's either one of us is here, it shouldn't have a union. I got it right this time. I got the right this guy right here.
You got it right, but I got a union, so I'm protected.
I got a union too, and they fucking fleecing me for dues. Like I had to pay, dude. With the initiation fees and everything, I paid like $240. Like my first, it was like my initiation fees and my first 2 months.
But
I paid 30. Yeah, I get protected.
Yeah, unions are like condoms. You do pay a little for them, but they break you 99. Well, the ones you may be using break because no one knows what type of monster Don Mystic's packing.
No, it's not because of that. See, I buy Costco brand condom.
No, we don't Costco. We love you, Costco.
We love you, Costco, but like anytime you're buying in bulk in condoms, chances are you're just delusional. You're not really having sex that often. I use condoms.
I bought 365
where my hands been.
Once a day for a whole year's worth.
No, dude. I use condoms when I masturbate because I don't know where my hands been. All right. All right. Next up is Andrade El Latolo. I fucked up his name so bad. I'm sorry, Andrade.
Beat Don.
It's not you. It's me. I speak English like a fucking like somebody who just got here, even though I've been here my whole life. And quite frankly, I know people who have been here not that long that speak better than me, so I'm not foreign. I'm just stupid. I don't know. Anyways, but yeah. So the reason Andrade is coming up on this is there was some some reports that some speculation that he might be coming to Dynamite on May 10th, but it didn't happen.
Did not occur.
Some people thought he might have held out or something like that. No showed. Yeah. I think from what I understand, Tony Khan thought about putting him on that show, but ended up just squashing it, and that he's going to be probably showing up on Collision.
Yeah, that would make sense.
Yeah, I think.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It makes a lot of sense.
If only we had a remote for your child.
Oh, I know, right? But on episode 12, we have a guest star who's going to chirp me the whole time. But no, I agree with you that look, if you're starting a Saturday third show, you want to feature guys that are not featured heavily in your other shows because you have that expanded room, and everyone knows that AEW is sort of, they have a bloated roster, and there's a lot of good wrestlers on AEW that don't get a lot of TV time, as there is in WWE. So this isn't an AEW exclusive. Whereas WWE,
it's a wrestling problem,
right? Yeah, WWE hoards good wrestlers. We all know it. They've been accused of it in the past, and they've done better about cutting people. I know a lot of people get upset. Oh, so and so can't believe they got released. Well, it also gives them freedom to go out and actually showcase their shit if they're not making it, right? Especially if they're not being featured on Raw or SmackDown, right? If you're on 247 Live, 205 Live, whatever the fuck it's called, no one's watching it. Not even Don Damage, because clearly I don't even know the title of it, right?
Don Damage, not Dom.
Yeah.
Not Don Mystic.
Right.
Dom wouldn't even like run in and smack you.
Exactly. Okay, Cody got a slap. He gently caressed Cody's lips on Monday or yesterday.
Dude, that should be Dom's new thing.
I love it. But back to, yeah. So if you're Andrade getting on Collision, we know Punk's gonna, or at least we've been told is Punk's gonna headline that show. So I think that's a good move. I think that's a real good move for him. Also, if you're AEW, you wanna build up Saturdays, because right now Rampage isn't doing it. So you really need to build up that secondary show.
And I'm going to start talking now, so Don Damage can talk to his child about not talking during the podcast. I do agree. You need to build up Collision. Having him on there would be absolutely great. I'm not sure who else you're going to put. I did hear that Andrade actually is maybe pushing to like have a feud with CM Punk, which, I mean, it's going to be everybody on Collision. I mean,
no, but
CM Punk is the biggest guy that's going to be on it. So
yeah, but Andrade can work. He's got a great physique.
Yeah, I'm not saying he doesn't deserve it.
No. Yeah, I know, but that's what I'm saying is like if you look, Punk's older than us, and he came back.
That's saying something because we're old. Yeah, we're old, boys and girls. Anyone under the age of 10, why are you watching this? We swear all the time. But if you are under the age of 10, we're old. We're old.
Yeah. If you're under the age of 10, go get mom and dad's permission. Sign a waiver. Be 18.
No, don't watch us. Don't watch us.
Oh, yeah, that too. Don't watch us.
Don't watch us. We're a
horrible
influence.
Don't look at me.
I'm in a luchador mask for God damn it. Like, there's nothing good that happens walking past a guy in a luchador mask. Yeah, Best case scenario, it's an actual wrestler. Worst case scenario, you'll never see the light of day again.
You threatening the kids of America? What the fuck is?
No, I'm just saying that if you see a man with a luchador mask, not this one. I'm a nice luchador mask guy, but
yeah.
Generally speaking, if you see him walking down the street in a luchador mask, no harm in crossing the street.
Exactly. What the fuck? This is, ladies and gentlemen, I apologize. This is a public relations nightmare.
Now you know why I wear the luchador mask, so I can watch the street without getting stoned, and not in the good way, in the old biblical way.
Jesus Christ. Where have we gone wrong? But back to goddamn Andrade.
All right.
Not goddamn Andrade, but Andrade. Yeah. Look, Punk needs to be. Look, he's gonna get hurt. He's not going to last too long before he gets hurt again. And I'm not saying that because I'm wishing ill on CM Punk or I don't want to see him out there. It's just the nature of the biz. It's full contact. Yeah, it's it's wrestling, and people go, it's not quote unquote real. Yeah, we know, but people still get hurt because it's full contact. So what I'm saying is, you want Punk to start building up guys, helping make guys. That way, that takes a lot of off Punk's table. Because if Punk has a partner that can lift 50%, he only has to lift 50. Then you have good stories. You're gonna have great mic skills anytime Punk's involved in a feud, and then your matches have real substance, and you don't have to worry if Punk physically can hold up. Look, I've been watching wrestling my whole life. The older guys get, all of a sudden injuries start springing up left and right. And it's not because they're not in good shape or they're not, strong anymore. It's just because that's how the human body works, right? I mean, if you, look at how Punk got hurt, but look at his matches. He was still performing. He was still going balls to the wall, right? Hogan, for example, there's a sad truth about a lot of his matches. They weren't very good.
And that's the bottom line, because Stone Cold said so.
Exactly. Look at how Kevin Owens, when Stone Cold had that match with him at the not last year's WrestleMania, which would now be 2 years ago WrestleMania. Kevin Owens made sure he put Stone Cold in situations where Stone Cold was able to do the moves he was comfortable with and where he didn't have to bump so severely, making sure he took care of Stone Cold. And in the process, they had a great match because basically Kevin Owens fed into everything Stone Cold wanted to do, which popped the crowd, which that's how it goes, right? But you're not going to ask Stone Cold to get in there and do you're not going to put him in the Money in the Bank ladder match. You know what I mean?
Because if you did, he would.
Rest in peace.
Yeah. So I'm just going to say Andrade, Punk, yeah, hopefully they have if that's the direction they go.
Dude, I want a legit soundboard where I can just press a button and this shit happens. One of these days, I'm going to get it. One of these days. It's going to cost a shitload of money, but one of these days.
Exactly.
All right. So, moving along. Let's move along to WWE. Cody Rhodes.
Hey.
Had a bit of a letdown. He wanted like a certain type of match, a
dog collar match.
Yeah, dog collar match in his feud with Brock Lesnar. Now we don't know if this was for the next match he's gonna have, or if it was for one of the earlier matches. Which I'm glad they didn't do it for the earlier matches because the earlier matches were actually really well thought out. We don't know what's gonna happen for the next one, but like we talked about this a little bit before the podcast started. Basically we're both in agreement that having a dog collar match would not have been the best idea.
No,
we both love Cody Rhodes. He's a great wrestler, but I think he was a little bit off the mark on this one. I think WWE made the right decision.
Yeah, because I'm also not a fan of the dog collar match itself.
I'm gonna be completely honest. Most gimmicky matches I'm not a huge fan of. Yeah. Like the only ones I can honestly say I'm a fan of were Hell in a Cell. I don't even think you
it's okay. got a little. Hey, this is what happens when you film during the day, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, photo bombing. Anyway, or video bombing. Yeah. Hell in a Cell. I guess you could say, even though it's been around forever, the original steel cage match, and let's hear what else. Elimination Chamber. Basically, if it's become a staple in WWE, it's usually because it's a good match. But generally, if ones don't happen that often, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
Whether it be they're dangerous, whether it be they just don't do well.
Right, but let's look at the psychology of a dog collar match, right? The goal is to get people stuck to each other, which means one person is hard or elusive to pin down, right? So when you have a runaway heel who like Dominic, right, slapping Cody Rhodes and then running behind Rhea, that's someone who you put in a dog collar match because then he's forced to be within a proximity of his opponent and he's forced to actually wrestle his opponent, right? Brock doesn't run from anybody and Cody doesn't run from anyone. So
for the love of God, he passed out in his last match. He wasn't running. He probably should have a little bit. But...
Right, exactly. So the psychology for a dog collar match just isn't there because Cody Rhodes isn't going to start running away from Brock Lesnar and Brock Lesnar's not going to start running away from Cody Rhodes. So,
but if they did start to run, it might sound a little something like.
Yeah,
Ladies and gentlemen, I am just doing this now to piss off Don Damage because I've known him since freshman year of high school, and it's fun. It's really fun.
Damn. Yeah, oh yeah, but not as much as I'm upset. For those that don't know, I just went to take a sip of my coffee and I clanked my my mug off my tooth. Whoopsies.
You're gonna end up looking like a hockey player.
Mm-hmm. But that's true. But yeah, the psychology ain't there for a dog collar match. Plus, last year, Drew McIntyre, Karrion Kross did a strap match where they were connected at the wrist to a strap. I'm not a big fan of I don't like the limitations because you can only do how much ever slack there is on the strap or the dog collar in instance of what Cody Rhodes had proposed. Look, it's a gimmick. I get it in yesteryear when you're not overproducing these on overproducing them. You have the classic runaway heel, and you finally need to get the baby face finally needs to get his hands on them, and they're like, all right, we're gonna strap you all together. I get that. And for the live crowd, it might play much better than on TV. But when you have to see them untangle each other or can only go so high on the ropes, or it takes away some of the whip offense because you can't really whip someone because you're actually connected to them, that's where these things get a little messy. And then undoubtedly the heel, almost at least in recent memory, the heel always figures out a way to get out of the strap, and then the baby face is just strapped up. And look, I don't know. But Brock, like I said, and I think you agree, Brock Lesnar does not run away. Cody Rhodes doesn't run away. So this gimmick is useless because you don't need to cage these men together because ain't no one running from each other. Now, if they were say,
I would almost like think that the better type of match, and I'm going to offer a new type of match. Drum roll, please. Long drum roll. A axle grease match. The exact opposite. You just cover them with the axle grease so it's harder to pin each other and catch onto each other. Like Brock Lesnar gets him in a Camaro lock and he just slips out.
Boy, he's just goddamn. We're just gonna bar of soap these guys.
No. Like legit grease. I mean, to be fair, they already oil themselves up, but I mean, they're not. It's supposed to be like sweat or something, even though they just came to the ring. But let's face it, they oil themselves up.
Yeah, we all know that.
But now we're gonna use axle grease, which will actually just stay on there. It's impossible to get that shit off.
Ladies and gentlemen, who wants to see lathered up Cody, lathered up Brock, not do anything to each other because they can't catch a grip?
Yeah.
By the way,
just put it on their feet and have them skate around the ring.
Hey, I heard a rumor, an unconfirmed rumor, and I heard it on the interwebs that the third match of the installment's gonna be at SummerSlam.
I heard that too.
Ep.12.
Which obviously means my prediction for Roman Reigns losing his belt at SummerSlam to Cody is obvious. If this is true, is obviously wrong. I understand it to an extent because obviously SummerSlam is bigger than Money in the Bank.
Yeah,
and I'm actually looking at it now, and then I'm thinking, okay, well, if he doesn't drop the belt at SummerSlam, when my first thought would be Crown Jewel, but that's not till November. But
right.
I mean, to be fair, we're in July, June. Well, I knew that. I know what time of year it is. Anyways, we're in June, so July, August, September, October, November. So we're talking about 5 months.
Yeah, I'll say this for sure. I think doing the third match at SummerSlam makes it grandiose. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
I know it kind of, everyone who's hoping for Roman to drop the Universal title SummerSlam is a likely spot.
90% of people.
Right. So that might,
except for his weird band of tribesmen or whatever followers whatever you want to call them.
But that might and okay, that might be off. But Brock and Cody, they need that big stage. If SummerSlam's, if WrestleMania is the big show, or that's a wrestler. If WrestleMania is the grandfather of them all, then SummerSlam's the father. You know what I mean? Like that's the or the mother, whichever. It don't matter to me. It's the next one in line. But having Brock and Cody go into SummerSlam, and maybe the gimmick. This is just me spitballing. I have no knowledge on this, but I literally yesterday was rewatching the build to the 2002 Shawn Michaels return when he returned against Triple H, and they had an unsanctioned street fight, which works because the very next match on the card wasn't a street fight. So, I'm not trying to throw shade at AEW, but if you're having an unsanctioned match, don't have weapons in the next one. It just throws off the whole unsanctioning part. But my point is that match had weaponry, and you could say, hey, that could be the gimmick, or maybe it's 2 out of 3 falls on the night, or it's the 3 stages of hell, right? Because we have a cage match, a ladder, and this. However they want to do it, and Cody and Brock can work, and they can put it over. I think something like that would be cool, where they have some form of an epic. In fact, just spitballing right now, I would not mind seeing the main event of SummerSlam being Cody and Brock, no matter what Roman and the Bloodline are doing. I'm
not sure Roman's even going to defend his belt. He hasn't. He didn't in the last one. He didn't at. I don't think he's going to at Money in the Bank, because I think he's going to have a tag match.
Yeah. No, know what would be sick? That you might be exactly right about that, and that might be the big blow off between the Usos, Solo, and Roman, because I bet you there'll be another family member involved at Money in the Bank.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we said that, or at least I said that we might see a Rikishi at the last. Obviously, we did not.
Or the little known Gilbert.
Okay. Anyway,
Gilbert Uso comes out.
Gilbert Uso.
He's the opposite. So he's just like really thin.
A lot of people don't know this, but Don Mystic's last name is actually Uso, and he will happily show up and kick Roman's ass. Or at very least take the hit so that Jay and Jimmy can beat the dog shit out of Roman. And I just said dog shit right before. Why does your son comes into the fucking... Luckily he can't hear you because you got the headphones on. That is very smart. Oh man. Don Damage has adoring fans. It's one. Unfortunately, Don Mystic is alone. No fans for Don Mystic, but so yeah, I think that it's definitely gonna. At some point, you have to have another member, like a member of the council or something like that. And I do still think this is why I think that because I really think that next WrestleMania is gonna have Roman versus The Rock. So that's why I think that maybe Cody takes it off of him at Crown Jewel. But because Crown Jewel is technically big because it's in Saudi Arabia, and they always go big at Saudi Arabia.
Well, hold on. Let's identify why Crown Jewel is like the next biggest PPV. Even though people be like, "What about Survivor Series? What about Royal Rumble?" The Saudis paid gajillions of dollars for something big to happen.
They made up numbers to pay out.
Because WWE gets a fat fucking paycheck for it, they're going to they're buying
that one.
Well, he's not even in the vicinity. He's across the house, so I hope he did. But that's my point: is when you pay that type of money, you're buying those big moments. So So
there's always going to be a big moment at Money in the Bank, not Money in the Bank, at Crown Jewel, any Saudi Arabia show.
Now that I'm not politically speaking,
I mean, look at Night of Champions. What happened? The fucking Bloodline broke up. That's the biggest thing to happen in a long time in WWE. I mean, we're talking about a yearish long like storyline with Sami Zayn that ended with like the Bloodline breaking up.
Oh. But and
then you come to like, what was it, SmackDown, and you think, oh, they're gonna get back together, and then Solo takes Roman's side and Simone spikes Jimmy. But
that was so good on SmackDown.
Oh, and
and there's a part of me that in hindsight was like, I shouldn't have been caught off guard. I shouldn't have been caught off guard. And you know what it was? WWE has a bad habit of wrestler shirts, you know, like a wrestler's shirt is like, they all come out, right? So when the Usos clearly were wearing the white and red one, right? And I was like, oh, you know, Roman and Solo came out in black. I was like, okay, there's a clear visual divide. And then when Solo walked over and was like, but we're brothers, I was like, oh, that's fresh. But then I'm also like, it can't be that easy. And of course it wasn't. And then when he spiked him, I was like, oh
yeah. The second you know Roman's hug, like it took longer than a couple of seconds. I'm like, okay, he's gonna screw him over, but like there's no reason for a hug to last that long with like them panned in. You knew something was coming.
Oh, you knew it, and Roman's not gonna just start being a nice guy.
I mean, his whole shtick is he's like the alpha dog, the tribal chief, or as I like to call him, the tribal chump. But yeah, that's right, Roman. That's right. I challenge you.
Oh Jesus!
I challenge you to a match.
Oh,
WWE 2K23. Because that's the only chance I got. I will be fighting as Roman Reigns. Roman, don't worry. I will allow you to fight as the absolute monster of Mae Young. Now, like old Mae Young though, like not young Mae Young. She might actually have a chance, but old Mae Young, hand out the pussy. You what? You know what I'm talking about. Everyone here knows what I'm talking about.
No, I know.
And it's not a invalid description of what happened.
Jesus. And we were going for a PG rating today, ladies and gentlemen.
PG. No, the PG rating. I hate the PG rating. I hate it with a passion. I want more blood in my life. I really do.
Well, keep going to Roman. I'm sure he can.
You know what? The PG rating can rest
in peace.
Oh.
Because blood can reign supreme because
the champ is here.
And I'm the champ that's gonna beat Roman Reigns in a game of WWE 2K23, and I'm saying WWE 2K23, so hopefully that WWE will fucking sponsor us.
Yes, after all the wonderful things we've said, especially about the guy that owns like 49% of it.
Yeah, we never said he was a piece of shit or anything like that.
I think that's like all we say.
Don't look at our other podcasts. Don't worry, nothing to see there. Nothing to see there. No. All right, so let's move on. Now we got Money in the Bank coming up, obviously. Let's look at the people who've already qualified. And that's getting annoying. I'm about to turn on my phone. So for the men's, we got Ricochet, who, I mean, he'll provide some like really good high flying stuff. I mean, it's a ladder match, for God's sake. Shinsuke Nakamura. It's actually Shinsuke Nakamura, but like I said, I can't talk very well. Anyways. So Ricochet beat The Miz. Shinsuke beat Bronson Reed. And then we also have LA Knight, who beat Montez Ford in a nice match, too.
That was a good match on SmackDown. I like that.
Yeah. So out of these three, I've heard rumors that they really like LA Knight to win the Money in the Bank, and I would absolutely love that. I love LA Knight. I think they need to push him more.
Yes.
So now onto the women's Money in the Bank.
Hold on. I want LA Knight to win Money in the Bank, but if they treat it like they treated Otis, which we did make a clip video on, has it been released?
We made.
Well,
I made it. No.
Okay, because
number 5,
which Dom Mystic made, which is true. Dom Mystic is
you
the
can tell
genius
by my
behind the
shitty voice being all over it. Anyways,
I'm just trying to advertise it for others to go see it, but so if you haven't seen, you should check it out because they did our man Otis pretty dirty. Not dirty. I mean, they gave him the Money in the Bank and then they basically shit on him. That's uncool.
And I mean, he did have some highlights. So he had the lunchbox.
Yeah, a fat man with a lunchbox is like that is just like
that is great.
But
I'm not just saying that because I take a lunchbox to work.
That takes no ingenuity. That's not like clever. It's like, well, let's give the Husky Otis a lunchbox.
Fill it with meat. That looked oddly phallic. Explain to your son what phallic means.
Looks like a thing. Looks like your dingus.
Looks like your pee-pee. Anyway, so let's get on to like some of the women who have already qualified. Zelina Vega, obviously love it. Love Zelina. Worship her a slight bit. Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark.
Becky's not going to win Money in the Bank.
I don't think so either. I actually think that Becky and Zoe are going to actually take each other out of it.
Mm-hmm. I think Becky's going to be like have the hand on the briefcase, and then Trish will run out, and then that whole feud will continue. Because
I think that's part of why I don't think either her or Zoe will win, because then you would have them going on to like a different storyline. Whereas I think either Becky's going to screw Zoe out of the belt or the briefcase, or the other way around. I think you're right. Probably Zoe screwing Becky, because that's going to continue that storyline.
Because if Becky wins, you immediately want her feuding with whoever the champion is. So like, I want. Because and Becky Lynch is a heavy hitter, so
and I mean, if you think about it, this is why I don't think that Becky Lynch is going to win, because the briefcase is kind of more to solidify people. If you look at the guys, Ricochet, Shinsuke, and LA Knight all need to be solidified.
Right.
They're not in the main event hunt.
Right.
At all.
Not yet, at least.
Although I guess after Austin Theory's thing, you don't have to be in the main event. You can go after a lower title, I guess.
Oh, a more working title, and
and just a note, in that clip that I made, Austin Theory makes the fucking cut of the 5 worst Money in the Bank winners.
Yeah,
and he might be pretty high on that one. Let's talk a little bit about the ones we know are coming for Friday SmackDown.
Right.
We got Butch versus Corbin. Neither one of these guys have a chance.
No, they don't. But I hope
Corbin's
Butch
already
wins.
won it. They're not going to CM Punk is the only one who's taken more than one Money in the Bank.
But he needed. And they haven't even built in a storyline for making the guy need the Money in the Bank. A previous winner needing it, because otherwise there's no shots available to him. So I don't see Corbin winning the Money in the Bank. I don't even see him beating Butch, to be honest. I think Butch wins that match, and I don't see Butch winning Money in the Bank.
I don't think it matters who wins it. I think they're just names on the board.
Yeah.
Quite frankly, I would have rather have had Escobar and Mustafa Ali in over both of those guys.
Yeah.
But you're gonna have Santos Escobar facing Mustafa Ali. Who do you think's gonna take it?
I want to say Escobar, because he physically looks like he's more imposing than Mustafa Ali. But Mustafa Ali, I mean, they're both really good workers.
coming off a really nice match against.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah,
coming off a nice match, but then if you start this LWO faction, you got to give them something. Otherwise,
well, I mean, you got Vega in the women's, but I do think you need to also have one in the
some representation. So I think Escobar goes through, but I would not be shocked if it's Mustafa Ali. However, if it's Mustafa Ali, he's pretty much going to hit one or two big high spots during that Money in the Bank, and that's about it.
Yeah.
I don't think
for the women's, we got Michin versus Bailey.
Bailey's going to win that.
I think so too. I mean, as much as I do like Michin, but it kind of suffers from the same thing as Butch and Corbin. You really don't have a storyline for her moving forward. Bailey, you could have a storyline of
damage control.
Yeah, where her with damage control.
And you need it because Io Sky and Asuka need to have a feud.
And yeah, this is and then this is where I think we're gonna have a little bit of a kind of like you're gonna see some cracks in damage control because I also think Io Sky is gonna, as much as I like Shotzi, I think Io Sky wins this one. She had that great match against Rhea Ripley.
Yes, Io Sky's winning this one. I like Shotzi too. Shout out, she's from the Bay Area.
Yeah. I mean, again, this is one of those ones where there's no storyline for her going forward. She'd just be a person in the match.
Right, and she's gonna do some cool high spots, and she's violent too. So
she's gonna have some high spots, but realistically, Michin and Shotzi would just be filler.
Yeah, exactly. And I can imagine it right now, and this might actually happen. And this is just a guess, but I could see Bailey on one side of the ladder, Io Sky on the other, both of them reaching for the briefcase, both of them realizing, we're sisters in damage control, or we're homies, whatever they call themselves in damage control. Obviously, Don Damage is a reference to damage control, but that Money in the Bank can only go to one of them. And I don't know who's going to throw the first punch, but much like Star Wars, it might not even matter because someone's only one woman's going to be able to get that briefcase. I could see them starting it, and then that leading to cracks in the armor. I could potentially see one of them winning it and really causing an issue.
Yeah, definitely. So out of the people we have right now, because there are going to be more people who get put into them. I believe it's an 8-man match, right? Each one is an 8-man match, or an 8-man or woman match. Right now we will have that'll bring us up to 3, 4, 5 for each of them. So you're going to have more people, I believe, on Raw and SmackDown getting into the match. But for right now, I would say for the men's, LA Knight has the best shot at actually winning.
Right.
And for the women's, it's a little bit more open, I think. I wouldn't like we said, we don't think Lynch or Stark is going to win it. Vega, I think the two ones that would be best would be Bea. I combined Bailey for Vega, Vega, or I don't think Io Sky's gonna win it, but I wouldn't mind if she did.
Right.
So right now it would be probably Vega because she's the only one who doesn't really have I would say a storyline afterwards. Who is a good enough wrestler and would benefit from having it.
Yeah. I could see Zelina Vega. I see it the way you see it in that respect. I just have a gut feeling that I'm gonna say Io Sky. I would not mind at all if Io Sky won it. She had a great match and. Yeah, she showed a lot during that match. And I cannot see Bailey winning this thing.
Yeah, I can't, because if you're gonna continue the damage control, breaking up type of situation, it's gonna need to be on its own.
I think Bailey's a better heel than a face.
Oh yeah,
to be honest, because she's so good on the mic and she's so quick with her quips. She's got heel, in my mind, she's got heel written all over her, and I like it. And I don't want to see Bailey be a face. I want her to stay a heel. And I could see Io Sky. I could see her face turning. I could also not but I could see that tension build, and I think that'll help drive tension. But we're saying all this, but then it very well could be Becky Lynch, because Becky Lynch.
I mean, whenever Becky Lynch is in it, I mean, yeah, I also could see it. Is Charlotte Flair actually hurt, or why is she out right now?
I heard it just marriage and some vacation.
Okay.
Her and Andrade got married I think right after WrestleMania, a couple weeks after WrestleMania. And then now they went on a prolonged honeymoon, and then now he's back.
And I mean, he's going to be coming back in July 15th, as he is at Collision. So you can maybe see Charlotte Flair being in the match.
Yeah.
Because we don't know everybody who's in the match yet.
That would be her getting put in. If she gets put in, I immediately think she's the favorite. But then I also think that's now interesting. That's now interesting.
She would be a favorite, but I also think that I've always thought of the Money in the Bank as a thing to push rising talent. So
agreed.
Charlotte Flair is the most not rising talent. She's about as high as she's gonna get.
Yeah. And, in fact, I would be willing to guess she's more on the come down than on the rise up.
Yeah,
and that's not saying she can't work. That's just
how it is.
She's been in it. She's just been in it, right? She's done it. I mean, Shawn Michaels, as a Shawn Michaels fan, right? Even when he came back in 2002, after 4 years being gone in '98, he was as high as he was going to get. I mean, he maintained his level of excellence, which was awesome, but he was already established. Same with all of them. Hogan, right? Anyone who's made their name. They're not Stone Cold isn't going to get more popular. He's established. He already is. The GOATs are all the GOATs, right?
Yeah, and if you look at all the winners, you had in 2005 you had Edge, but this was before he was as big as he is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you look at them, all of them were on the come up. In 2006, Rob Van Dam. 2007, Mr. Kennedy. 2008 and 2009 were CM Punk, but this was still when he was not the guy he was. 2010 was Swagger. The only one you can maybe make a argument that he didn't need it was Kane. Yes, because he won, and then
but they're all
so many briefcase winners in 2010.
But then also, I mean, you and I were at WrestleMania when Seth Rollins cashed in Money in the Bank, but he lost the opening match to Randy Orton, right?
Yeah.
Which, by the way, once he lost the opening match to Randy Orton and then he cashed in Money in the Bank, that was definitely a moment. But then you began to think, oh, that's why they put Randy Orton over in the opening match.
Yeah. And I mean, well, like I said,
Santa Clara WrestleMania. By the way, quick message to WWE: when hosting WrestleMania on the West Coast, try to book
San Francisco.
No. Well, hold on. Book a venue with a roof on it. The reason being because when you have Undertaker walk out in the sunny sunlight, it not the same. It's not.
Well, to be fair, that won't be happening anymore. But
the point is not everybody look, and people go, well, because here.
Well, I mean, it was in San Francisco, dude. I mean, there wasn't a place where you could do that.
First of all, Santa Clara. Let's get but
it was San Francisco 49ers stadium.
Yeah. Now, but just
I mean, I suppose you could have
but just to tell everybody,
right.
Well, here's the thing. Next year's WrestleMania is in Philadelphia. But they go live 8:00 Eastern Standard Time. So it'll be 8 p.m. when the show starts. So that show is going to end around 11 something Eastern Standard Time, which is going to be in the nighttime, right? For the West Coast shows, they start at 5 Pacific. So we're 5. We start at 5, and then it'll end around 8 something our time, which it's still light out. So you're not going to get the cover of darkness you're looking for, right? Or in the winter, you know, it'll get lighter sooner, or it'll get darker sooner. But point being, out here on the West Coast, you need a roof, because if you don't have a roof, it's going to be noticeably in daytime.
Brighter.
Yeah, way brighter.
Yeah.
It was hot as hell, too. I ain't going front.
And WWE, as a Raider fan, I would very much like you to host one at Allegiant Stadium, just so I can go to Allegiant Stadium, support WWE and
the Raiders.
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll buy a ticket. This guy right here loves his Vegas. He'll come with me. He loves WWE. He loves Vegas.
It's true. I will.
He loves Sin City because he is a sinner. A dirty sinner.
Yep.
Hey, WWE, we know we've been giving you shit, but you gotta remember we're crotchety old men. We like complaining. We yell at kids to get off our lawn, even though my lawn is a bunch of weeds. And Don Mystic is, I just said Don Mystic.
You said Don Mystic. Try to say Don Damage. I know you.
Don Damage is pretending not to do anything, but is really talking to his sons over there.
Yeah, this happened. Welcome to the family.
We're gonna have to initiate your kids into KEW.
Oh, Jesus Christ! Yeah, they're ready.
Just so we can.
They are
throw them around a bit, teach them a lesson or two.
Yeah, they're a little psycho.
If every kid could take at least one power bomb, I think that the world would be a much better place.
Someone call Kevin Nash.
What I'm trying to say is
he'll be our official power bomb.
U.S. government legalize child abuse. Just very specific types of child abuse. Just enough.
Oh.
To get them to fucking behave, because I have noticed that every kid I come into contact with, and yes, I'm talking to you, Ethan. If he ever finds this podcast, he's gonna get a little bit of a wake up call. Every little kid I know is kind of a little shit, and I mean, back in the day, we couldn't be little shits because our parents would just backhand the fuck out of us. And we need to bring that back.
Now, to be fair, we got hit a lot more than probably, but we also misbehaved too. I mean,
we misbehaved, but we at least tried to hide it better. Now kids are screaming.
They're a little more in the open.
I didn't scream like crazy when I was a kid because my dad would start screaming back at me. All I'm saying is we keep saying that getting hit traumatizes kids. Some kids need a little trauma in their life.
Jesus Christ!
Because
I don't endorse any of these messages.
Yes, he does. As his kid tries to edge his way into the.
No. I don't endorse. These messages don't represent the opinions of Don Damage and Don Damage Associates.
I'm one of your associates. And I'm the one saying it.
We've gone off the rails, ladies and gents.
CPS, if you would like to pay my friend a visit.
Why? I'm not doing anything. You're the one.
You're associated with the podcast, though. If you would like to pay my man a visit, call me and I'll tell you where he lives. I don't know where he lives.
That's right.
I
know where Don Mystic lives.
This guy's smart. Yeah, he knows where I live. I'll tell you where I live. And then I'll have you come over. I'll tell you his full name. Mm-hmm. It's a funny name, by the way. I'll tell you his full name. That doesn't sound Hispanic at all, but he is half Hispanic. He doesn't sound Hispanic. Like, what is your biological dad's last name?
Souffle. Souffle, yeah, French.
But he's a Hispanic.
It's true. The French were in Mexico as well. In fact, that's what Cinco de Mayo. Yeah, it's Cinco de Mayo. The battle at Puebla, that was against the French. That was when the Mexicans beat the French. So The French were.
Everyone beats the French. The French, anytime somebody shows up to the battle, they just retreat or immediately surrender, or so I've heard.
So you've heard. I think that's a little bit of propaganda because if you notice, the French are always involved in wars. Like they're always at war.
Yep, in internment camps. Anyways,
that was an odd
or prisoners of war, whatever you want to call it, not internment camps.
POWs?
Well, I guess that's what internment camps are, though.
Jesus Christ, ladies and gentlemen, we will be canceled tomorrow because of this.
Anyway,
podcast.
we are gonna end this podcast there. I might cut some of that out.
I would.
I wouldn't. I'm not really gonna cut any of it out.
We know you're not.
Anyway, so yeah, thanks for showing up. If you love our content, you can have
a nice day.
And well,
oh Jesus!
If you don't love our content, you can.
Please shut the hell up.
But for everyone, just please come back. We're close to 1,000, even though, despite what I just said. And also, we are really close to 1,000 subscribers. So if you're watching this on YouTube, hit that subscribe button.
Please, just give it a little tickle, just like your, just a little tick, just a little tick.
Like Vince McMahon tickles women inappropriately. Give it a little inappropriate tickle.
I'm out. I'm done. Done damages. Done for the day.
I'm done too. Even I don't agree with what I just said. Oh.